for the Wally class, being in Palma for Palma Vela is a tradition. I think we started something like 10 years ago. The reason is that at the beginning of the season, sailing here, it's better than sailing in any other place in the Med, because the weather is warmer and the wind conditions are usually perfect. So everybody is very, very happy to start the season here in Palma. This year we have 12 boats racing here, everybody very, very competitive. The Wally sail yachts are cruiser racer, so boats on which you can cruise very comfortably, but also racing at a very high level. In fact, we can say that today, after the America's Cup, probably the biggest and most competitive class in the world is the Wally class. You know, we have the rule that the owner has to steer the boat, but the rest of the crew can be professional, and I must say has to be professional because the boats are big, maneuvers are difficult. If you make a mistake, you can lose a gennaker or destroy a gennaker, which is immediately a lot of money that you just throw out into the water. So the level of the competition is really high.
Excitement of the new Club Swan 50 class is it's owner-driven and it's pure one design. So I think we will see very good races outside where the winner really crosses first the finish line. There will be no compensation and everyone knows what he is doing out there. The boats are very even, very exciting, they are modern design. So I think it's a kind of a new Swan.
The brief was primarily to do a one design boat that was exciting to race. A boat that was agile enough and fast enough to be able to allow the crews and the helmsmen to have feelings like you have in more modern lightweight boats, and at the same time have a boat that could be used for cruising, like a 2-3 day cruising with comfortable interiors. I think we succeeded. I think that the success of the class so far has proven that the people have understood the concept and that the brief was very spot on, and I'm very happy to see that the class is doing so well.
Out of Swan got a very good relationship with Yacht Club Nautico because we have the same thinking. We love one design, we love regatta. This is one of the strongest yacht clubs in the world, organizes top class racing, so that's why we are here. Luckily the class is selling very well because it's such a nice boat. There are 20 units sold and they get completed now month by month in Finland. So here we're facing 3 boats racing, and I'm sure in summer at Copa del Rey we might be already 10 boats here.
Here is the World on Water's 35th America's Cup report.
The boat's really technical, really difficult to sail, and the thing that keeps them foiling so nicely is the control system. And everyone hears of this word control system, but what does it actually really mean? Well basically the flight control system is from an end user perspective, from my perspective, is a bunch of buttons that you push and they send different commands to the foils. So I can push buttons on the wheel that adjust the leeward dagger board, changes the rake of it. I also have buttons that adjust the rudders, and I have buttons that adjust sort of both at the same time. So it is a very complex control system. I think I've got somewhere over 20 buttons on the wheel, mounted in various different spots, and it's been a huge project. You spend a lot of time with control systems engineers and boat builders, to be frank, in the team, coming in saying, I need to move the button 2 inches to the left, and they look at you and they roll their eyes and they're like, what do you mean? How can 2 inches make a difference? But you know, when you are doing 35 knots and you need to pull off a foiling jibe and hit it spot on, if you have to move your hand from one button to reach another button, it just doesn't work. And then you've got a number of foot buttons below the wheel as well, which control dropping and lifting the boards and bleeding the cant and all this stuff. So yeah, it's a full-time job at the back. And then sometime after this whole trying to just fly the boat and make it go quick, you got to think about where the other boat is, if you lift it or if you're on a header, and your ley lines and stuff. So that's why training is so important. It's such a complex boat to sail, and we're just getting better and better every day still.
Alright, so today they're doing the fitness testing. There'll be 4 guys doing it at the same time. 24 efforts of 20 seconds. Each effort is separated by 10 seconds where the guys have to stop cycling. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! And they just got to give it everything they got.
Just pain, mate, just pain. Brutal. You're just hitting the limit and then trying to stay there as long as you can. So it's disgusting. And you're not allowed to stop. You're just not allowed to stop.
Hopefully it feels a bit like winning America's Cup race.
Traditionally it's always been upper body grinding. Here we're completely flipping everything on its head. I mean, there's a substantial increase in power output using the legs. It's been about a year of hard work. So we've gone through a lot of base work and now hit a few phases of intense efforts, so the guys are making big jumps.
Coming from a year of PHRF racing, where you're looking over your horizon to see if there's another boat in sight, all of a sudden now there's boats right next to you, and you learn real fast if you're going well or if you're not going well. It's a whole different ball game sailing boat on boat.
Boat goes fast, it's responsive, it's quick.
Not just an inshore boat. We can sail both long distance offshore, and we can sail around the cans, mano, 3 races a day, which is what we're doing here in San Diego this weekend.
To come out here and drive one of these boats and go against such good drivers and good teams like PAC and Invisible Hand and Fox is just great.
The boats all came out from the factories, and they did their best at the factories to build the boats all the same, but when you're building one boat in Dubai and another boat in New Zealand, you're going to get pretty darn close, but not exact. So what we've done is we've weighed all the boats all at once with the same scale on the same day. We've done stability tests and extensive measurements, and on paper the Rio was coming out a little bit faster than everybody else, and the reason for that was they were a little bit lighter. They were just coming in about 100 kilograms less than the other boats. What Manoush offered to do, who owns Rio, is he said, look, if I take on 125 kilograms of lead corrector weights and put them in my boat, on paper that evened the boats, and Manoush agreed to that, and the other owners thought that sounded great.
That is the most important thing for the class, to have boats that everybody feels that nothing is, they're not faster or slower than other people, and their boats are good. And I think everybody still, even after today, they feel the same way, because today was a very shifty day, and depending on where you were on the shift, that you got ahead. And many times we were right next to the other boats, we were going exactly the same speed. So I would say that these boats are absolutely equal, and all the owners are happy.
My name's Marcos McGee, and I'm 17.
My name's Riley Gibbs and I'm 20 years old.
We need to be very cognizant of bringing in the youth and looking after them and making sure that we continue to, that's how we grow our sport and keep the sport alive.
Being on a boat like this is unbelievable. It's just, everything's so much bigger, so much stronger, and it's just so fast. It's a handful.
The biggest thing that I think sets apart a professional from an amateur is like the spatial awareness and the ability to anticipate the next move, and it's like playing chess on the water. So working with Gavin Brady, who's our tactician, has just been phenomenal. You know, I've been taking away chunks and information here and there, and I mean, this past weekend's been really helpful to my sailing personally.
You know, where the bulb's attached to the fin. There's been movement on the cover plates, which seems to be just cosmetic, but it appears from underwater video that PAC has had some sag on the bulb, and that's just a no-no. So even though we don't see that on ours, because we're sister ships, we're identical. We're going to have to check that out. You know, we don't want to go sailing until we're sure that we're structurally sound.
Those guys came and talked to us on Fox and Rio and said, hey, look, we don't really feel right about going out today. We could, but it's not good for the boats. We agreed that the scores from today, they're going to count for this regatta, but they're not going to count for the season. So kind of waived the rules a little bit, and we also waived the crew requirement. And Rio and Fox are taking the owners from Invisible Hand and Bad Pack on their boats. So we're sort of mixing the teams up a little bit and going to go have sort of a fun day out there today.
The boats raced a tight race. They were very close to each other, and it's good racing. If you make a mistake, you're going to lose that race.
Beautiful winter day in Sydney, the MC38 Winter Series Act 1 was on Pittwater. It was hosted by the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club. Kiwi Neville Crichton in Maserati showed his way by winning the first of the series. The CYCA's Leslie Green in Ginger bounced back for second in the series. Then followed local John Bacon in Dark Star, followed by Lightning Speed and Vino. Only a small fleet, but the racing was hot and the weather was beautiful.
So the 28th week of work here in Lisbon on the 7-boat refit project and the fit out and finishing of boat 8. This is boat 8, the last boat to come through this facility. This boat started building in September last year in Persico, where they laminated the hull. The deck was built simultaneously in Multiplast in France. The two were then joined together in the new year. The boat was then assembled in Persico, and then it began a long journey at the end of March by road and by sea to arrive in Lisbon on the 8th of April. Since then it's been a hive of activity as we've taken a grey undercoat boat to finish all of the One Design paint detailing. Meanwhile we've had an army of boat builders, electronics, people, engineers, deck gear, swarming through the boat, getting all of the detailing finished.
This boat's been brand new, so it was built pretty much the same way as all the other boats. But then for us, it takes up more time because it came to us basically as a shell, like as an empty egg, and we had to put all the components in it.
It's very different because now it's the first time that all these parts come together in this particular boat, and it's always some details to finish, some things to adjust.
And it also has to stay in one design, which is sometimes, you know, the hardest part. You know, it would be quite easy to say, okay, this works well here, or this works fine like this, but it's not the same as the 7 other boats.
You know, there's been probably a more boat building stuff, you know, more kind of thinking of problem solving on this boat in the composite world.
Anything which is new on the boat takes some time to develop and to come up with the best solution. So things like the speedo in the keel bulb, the new aerial frame on the back of the yacht, the 2 new cameras on the boat, those things take a bit of time to develop and to find the right solution.
At the moment I'm fighting with this pretty bolt. I'm at that point where you either take it personal and finish it no matter how long it takes, or just have a break, let it rest for a while and come back a bit later.
When you're fitting something out for the first time, it always takes a little bit longer than when you're putting something back in.
A little bit different to what we've done with the previous 7. Challenging in some aspects, but interesting in others. We believe probably somewhere in the order of 1,500 to 2,000 hours extra work to take this boat to a finished product compared to all the others.
So we're down here at SWAT today. We've brought John from Laser and one of the laser sailors from the British sailing team to challenge and try and get our laser on the foils.
I don't think John's got what it takes to win today. He's too old. I've got the youth, I've got the pedigree, I've got the fitness, I've got the looks.
Not only have I got a bit more experience, lifelong experience, I'm also not wearing a silly hat, which is definitely going to get caught on the boom and cause him to capsize.
We're going to send him back up to Northampton in a very sorry state, unfortunately, but it's going to be a good day.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, it was one of the best days in a boat I've ever had. I think it was pretty evenly matched. Both got up almost first time, had a few good runs, a few splashy dismounts.
After me sailing a laser however many hundreds of days a year, just going around hiking as hard as we can with our quads burning, going 4 knots upwind to doing that, flying around, it was brilliant, yeah. The biggest thing I'd say that I've learned today is how precise you've got to be on the rudder. Like the slightest little movement is amplified, and that's the first thing I learned. As soon as I popped up the first time, I'd sort of head up, and then you're going so much faster than you normally are. The angle you turn is so much bigger, so you end up swimming.
So yeah, a great day down here at SWAC, so thank you to the guys for organising it. I know the boat is available for courses and things, so please do get in touch with them because it is great fun.